Hey, y'all. I'm Tasha Simpson, and you're listening to the Divergent Disco podcast. This podcast is for neurodivergent creatives and entrepreneurs and people just trying to live their damn life in an authentic way. I am your host, Tasha, and today we're going to talk about social media, branding, and marketing for specifically neurodivergent creatives and entrepreneurs. I first want to say right out the gate that there is a lot of there's a lot of BS advice about how to show up on social media, especially if you're a content creator like I am, if you're a social media manager like I am. You have heard all of the crazy stuff. So today I want to give you some actual tools that I utilize personally that has helped me build my Instagram following to over 6K right now. I've been doing this for 3 years. So this is the long game, my friends. If you're trying to just go viral and get followers really quick, this is not for you. And all of my content's probably not for you. Going viral is not the point. And just as a brief kind of backstory, I started content creation because it went really well with theater. I am a theater artist and I left the mental health field. I was a therapist, mental health therapist for 2 years in grad school and 2 years out of grad school. So about 4 years. And I did a show at the time that was having another iteration of itself, a revamped version of itself, and I was cast in it. And when I did the show, I went back to being a therapist and I couldn't do it. I loved all my clients. I loved the work, but I knew that it just was not for me. And I could not sit and be present like that with clients. I am a very stimmy person. I need to move my body. I was in the service industry for like a decade. I just need to be up and moving and I need to be able to follow my own energy flow. And I just felt like I couldn't do that as a therapist. So, well, we can definitely go deeper into that and how it also led me into really intense autistic burnout. But we can save that for another episode. So, today I want to talk about the actual tools, tips, and strategies that I use every day when creating content. And I know a lot of people say that you need to post consistently. What I feel about that is that when you are in tune with your creativity and you are allowing yourself to rest, you are living a life that is in alignment and things feel aligned. Consistency oftentimes comes from listening to your own energy. Okay. And consistency to me does not mean posting every day. It doesn't mean building your business every day. It doesn't mean any of that stuff. Consistency to me means showing up for yourself, showing up for your brand, right? And following your own energy. I think that when we try to force it, it doesn't work. I'm telling you, I've tried. I have tried building a brand and doing content when I was tired and when I was like, I just have to put something out because it's Tuesday and I said I was going to post every day. It does not work for neurodivergent people like that. And I'm sorry if there is some grief that comes with that, but all of the advice that has you trying to post every single day and batching your content and batching what you're putting out, y'all, it does not work like that for many neurodivergent entrepreneurs and creatives. It just doesn't. And so we're going to take a collective deep breath. We're going to ground ourselves. And if you feel disappointed, that's okay. If this isn't the advice that you need right now, that's okay. You can find other neurotypical people who are telling you exactly how to post every day. But what I found from those people is that I would do it for a week and feel really good about it. And then shame spiral the next week because I couldn't keep up with it. And that is so neurodivergent of me. Voice note your captions. This has been the biggest game changer. I do not write my captions, and I sure as hell do not let AI write my captions because when I went through a period of letting AI write my captions, no one connected with it because everyone could feel that and everyone could feel that it was not me. It was not my energy. I'm sure that there are still AI captions that you can find on my page. Like, it is not me. It is too perfect. I am not a perfect person. I do not write like that. But my sister actually gave me this advice to just do a voice memo or do voice to text for my captions. And it has completely changed the game for me because it looks authentic. It's messy. Sometimes it autocorrects words and then I have to re-edit it, and that's fine. But that is saying things out loud and then having your phone translate it or do text is just the biggest game changer. I feel like typing things out is where my ideas go to die, murder, just like done. Because how many notes app things do you have that are like half sentences, right? Like how many notes do you have that you start and you're like, eggs, cheese, bread, idea for content, tell so and so that they, and then like you never come back to it and you have no idea what you were talking about. But when I do voice memos, I can go back to that and listen to it and feel my own energy, feel the energy of the post, feel the energy of what I was trying to write. And that for me just like really works. Bank 5 hashtags in your notes app that you use every time. Like stop researching new ones. Just have the 5. Maybe you have like 3 sets of 5. You copy and paste those bitches right into after your caption. And guess what? Guess what, y'all? I give you full permission to not write a caption and to just put hashtags in there. So what? Like, don't try and perfectionist your way through this, right? If you're just trying to get a brand post out to build brand awareness, like people can go to your website. I'm sorry, like I would say like this is just not the neurotypical advice that a lot of people are following or looking for, because I'm here to break the rules, because everything neurotypical that I have done has burned me out and has left me feeling like shit about myself or my brand. Okay. So just have the 5 Instagram. And when I'm talking about all of these things, like I think that TikTok is very volatile and there's an incredible amount of bullying and harassment on TikTok. So I do not love TikTok. I honestly don't even know if I'm going to keep my account there. I rarely add to TikTok because the bullying and hate comments, like I respect my mental health way too much. And I think that is criminal to think that you're not going to take that shit on. Like those are people and or bots. You're a person, you're affected by that. Okay. So another strategy talking about mental health, your mental health comes first. If social media is affecting your mental health, your brand, your entrepreneurship, your social media presence is not worth coming in between you and your mental health. Okay, that is a neurotypical, masculine, hyper-masculine, capitalistic way to think about things, is to like just keep going and it doesn't matter if you're having a bad day. Get out there and build your brand. It's bullshit, you guys. It's all bullshit. Your brand is a branch of who you are. If you are not doing well, your brand is not going to do well. Okay. Let's say like Martha's over here and she's building her brand and it's doing super well and her mental health is just tanked and it's so bad. Okay, her services, Martha's out here, her services are not going to be great. She offers consulting, right? Her consulting clients are going to see that she's not doing well. Her consulting clients are going to be affected by that. And yes, like we can have person to person, human centered connection around that stuff. And I do think it's very valuable to show up as you are in your brand. So if you're not having the best day, like I let clients know, hey, I am struggling today with X, Y, or Z. Just know that I'm showing up in that way. But I'm talking about like if you are so burnt out and you are mentally not doing well and you're like having trouble getting out of bed, put things down. Put it all down. Try something else. Try resting and taking care of yourself. Okay. Your mental health has to be number one in your business. And that is a neurodivergent way of looking at your business. Okay. So when you feel like you want to put things out into the world, whether that's marketing materials or so I'm talking specifically about social media now. So like if you are feeling like creative and you'd like to get something out, use a trending sound and speak specifically to the person that is your audience. Okay. Neurotypical advice says we need to niche down. Neurodivergent brains do not have a niche. We have hyperfixations. We are all over the place in the best ways. Okay. We have crafts that are all over our office. Am I speaking about myself? Yes, I am. Currently, I have like 3 different crafts going. I have 3 different projects going. If you get specific about who you're talking to, and that can even be a version of you 5 years ago that needed advice, a version of you 10 years ago, like that 16-year-old version of you, like what did they need to hear? Think about the exact person that you are talking to. I think a really good exercise is to write this down. I have like a whole persona of the person that I'm talking to when I show up online. And this person is a millennial. She is neurodivergent. She runs her own business. She is a person that has always felt like she was made for more. She hit burnout in her life, autistic burnout in her life, and never wants to go back there. I even have it down to like envisioning what she's wearing that day, like when I'm talking to her. Okay. That's how specific I like to get when I put things out online so that, if you look at my Instagram has stimming videos, me stimming with my husband. And oftentimes I'm like biting him and stuff. And it makes me laugh. My content makes me laugh. And I think it's funny. But I also have a lot of heartfelt messages out there for people. And one of the things that I think about is, okay, so the person that I'm talking to, which right now I am blanking on what I called her. I am blanking on her name. Dang, I'm going to have to put that in the show notes or something once I remember it, but I'm blanking on her name. Let's just call her Jessica. So Jessica is an autistic and ADHD entrepreneur and creative, and she was stuck in burnout for a while, and she's so scared of going back there. She's so scared of doing too much and hyperfixating too hard in her business that she'll go back into autistic burnout. So when I'm creating those stimming videos, one, I'm being my full self. I know exactly the feeling, the sensation that I get when I know I'm about to get the stimmy zoomies. And I just set up my phone and I press record. Side note, there are so many people that get so angry because they're like, this is staged. This gives me the ick. How did you, like, you recording yourself doing this? It's so performative. That's fine. People can think that. I think that life is a performance. So if you want to get like existential on it, aren't we all performing all the time? We're performing all of these things. But I will say that like I am being authentic in those videos, and I know that I am because I know the sensation that happens in my body as soon as I know that the zoomies are going to hit. My sister literally will see them start to happen and start filming me. We've talked about it. I'm okay with being filmed by her and my husband. So when the zoomies hit, I just kind of let it play out, get it on camera, and do some editing to make it funnier, you know. My sound that I usually use is the do ba do ba do ba do. It's literally like funny if you Google or look up funny on Instagram sounds. And I just put that in the background. And when I'm doing that, I'm being authentic, and I'm also thinking about the person that this is going to affect. So let's say Jessica is having a hard time stimming at home. She feels weird about it. She feels weird in front of her husband because her husband and her have been married for 10 years, and she just found out she was autistic 2 years ago, and it's really, really hard for her. That's exactly who I'm making the content for. There's a version of myself a few years ago that was terrified of stimming in front of my husband. I had to literally have my therapist walk me through like what stimming was. Like, how do I do it? How do I let my body do that? And so when I'm creating content, it's so much bigger than me. It's so much bigger than me. And there's a really big conversation here also with identity and race and like stimming in public versus stimming in our homes, stimming around safe people, and those are all conversations that I hope to be having with people IRL, right? So it's not just like a trending reel, trending audio on a reel is fine for those days where you're not being creative. And you got to think about your bigger message, right? Like, I'm a big universe girly. I really firmly believe in the universe. And I am also a psychic, intuitive, which is not something I talk about a lot. It's honestly just something that I use every single day. And I offer like psychic intuitive sessions for people. When people hire me for social media management, I feel the energy of their business. Like it's so all this to say, it's bigger than me. It is part of my purpose. And is the universe sitting there and being like, Tasha Simpson, she's going to be a content creator. No, I don't think it works like that. I think it's like Tasha Simpson is going to be a creative who tells a message and tells a story and connects with people authentically through her self-expression. And that just happens to be for me theater and content creation and social media management, right? And that could change. Another thing about being neurodivergent is like we have to let go of this idea that we have to be engaged in the same thing and call it a career and do it for the rest of our lives. I can't tell you the last time I was in a job for more than 2 years. And I think for me, there was a lot of grief in that because I was like, I just want to be stable. I just want to be stable. I just want to have stable income and do it, and theater is not a stable career financially, right? Your career is auditioning. But then opportunities arise. And then I'm like, okay, I can figure out the next few months. And actually, that leads me to a podcast that I really love called Not Starving Artists. I will put it in the show notes. Not Starving Artists is a great podcast for creatives and for theater artists, PS, because she really does a great job of kind of laying out how to plan your money when you are in this independent contractor space, right? Like so many of us are. Okay. There are a few tangents there, but I really think that those were things that are going to be helpful for people. Okay. Yes. So getting specific about who you're talking to. And when you're stuck, it's usually, in my experience, like when you're stuck talking and everyone's talking about yapping videos and things online, I feel like the stuckness is usually because we are talking really generally and just trying to get something out there. Where like maybe you take a nice deep breath, you settle yourself. And for me, I would be like, universe, what is on my heart or on my mind to share right now? What would be like, how can I be the best service? How can I be, a beacon of hope for someone? Like what did I need to hear 5 years ago that I can put online right now? Sometimes it's existential deep shit. And other times it's bad. Who cares? What even is bad when it comes to creativity? If you're following your creative flow, if you're following your creativity, is there such a thing as bad art? Is there such a thing as bad expression? No, I don't think so. I don't think so. I think that if something comes from the heart and is your truth, there's no way to do it poorly. There's no way to do it in a bad way because your truth is yours. So, one other thing I just want to say about social media, and this is good for like branding and marketing as well, and running your business. Wear the fucking same outfit, you guys. Who cares? Who cares? Like, get a good outfit that is on brand for you. I have this one magenta shirt that I wear in all of my branding stuff. Honestly, I think it's great for you to wear similar colors, the same thing, your comfort outfits, because people start to recognize you. People start to see, and they start to see you with your brand. Okay, so wear the same freaking outfits. You're neurodivergent, you're tired. Okay, like you're probably on your like third cup of coffee. Just wear the same outfit. Who gives a shit? Like all these people, and listen, like to the people who do this, more power to you. I'm really not yucking your yum. But when it comes to creating content, we are so many things in our lives. It is not realistic that I would look at someone's page and they're in different outfits and it feels like different days all the time. That is the facade. That is probably why you are thinking that, oh my gosh, that person posts consistently every day, or that person shows up online every day. It could be one session that they're sitting down in the same outfit. It could be one session that they're sitting down and changing their shirt. You just don't know. You just don't know. So wear the same outfit. Who cares, you guys? There's like, if anyone wants to show me research, scientifically backed research on the psychology of seeing someone show up every time in a different outfit online or in their branding materials or on their website, go ahead and show me that research, honey. Go ahead. Okay. Before I get off on another rant. Okay. F off to hooks. Hooks. All right. I got to take my mic out and sit back for this one. Okay. Let's talk about hooks because they're trash. They are trash. And I am using my past as a mental health professional who is EMDR trained, eye movement desensitization reprocessing. So I held some space to process deep trauma with people. Okay. When I hear the word hook, I hear nervous system dysregulation. So we are hooking someone's attention. We are dysregulating their nervous system in some way, negative, positive, whatever it is, to keep their attention. I don't know about you, but if I'm building an authentic brand, I do not want people to stay because they are shocked or scared. I don't want people to stay because I terrified them into an experience with me. I think it's time to spill the tea also on this event that I went to, because it will pose as a great example for all of this neurotypical bullshit. I walked into an all-day workshop. The vibes were vibing. It was fine. It was fine. I was keeping an open mind. It was for entrepreneurs. This person starts talking. And when I say there was so much hooky energy, like hooking people in, it was this old way of doing coaching where as I'm sitting there, I'm hearing a lot of words about things, but I'm not hearing information. And in the past, I would have been like, wow, am I not understanding like what's happening? And it would have gotten me feeling really heightened in my nervous system and being like, oh no, am I not advanced enough to be here? Do I not know what I'm talking about in my business? But I just sat there and was like, it was almost as if I was seeing through the veil or the cloud of kind of the BS that was all over the room and tracking what they're talking about, because it's very old salesy things of like, you don't have X, Y, and Z. I'm going to give it to you, but I'm not going to give it to you right now. I'm going to dangle it. I'm going to dangle that little carrot. See that little carrot? And then I'm going to pull it away. And the only way to get that carrot is to pay for services with me. And I was just like not buying it. I was just not buying it. This woman ended up raising her hand and asking a question and sharing. And I could tell this woman was dysregulated. And this coach just kept like carving information out of her when really this woman just needed help co-regulating. This woman probably just needed a slowdown and like, hey, let's take a nice deep breath. But the more dysregulated you are, this is very neurotypical, old school, hyper-masculine marketing. The more dysregulated you are, the quicker you are to want a solution and to buy a product, right? Oh, shoot, I don't have that thing. I'm in scarcity. Oh, shoot, I need that thing right now because they said it would work, or it's worked for this person, or the reviews, blah, blah, blah. And that is so gross to me. And that is the energy that I find with hooks. The first 3 seconds, getting someone's attention. Okay. Now, on the other side of that, I don't think it's great to start videos with, hey, everybody. Hi. Hey, guys. Just cut that stuff out, edit that stuff out, and get right to the point. listen, we're all neurodivergent who are listening to this podcast, right? Our attention spans are different. Our attention spans are different. Okay. So think about how you would listen to something and how you want your attention held, and then do those things in your marketing, do those things on your social media, right? Just think about how you want to receive information. And I do think that when people talk about hooks, like there is benefits to the curiosity hook, which is like having people feel curious. So asking a question can come from a place of authenticity where it's not this like grabby, hooky energy. I'm going to read a little bit that I wrote about this to make sure that I covered all of this. So a hook in a traditional sense is engineered to create a small spike of unease, and it's a gap you have to close. That's not an accident. Okay. It borrows the same nervous system response that shows up in dysregulation. So trauma informed care is built around the opposite. So you regulate first, then you connect. Okay. So a hook does the reverse. So regulate first, then connect. Anything that is calling dysregulation first and calling that connection, it's like, think about the people who are going to comment on your videos or who are going to leave you reviews for your business. They're dysregulated. They're in scarcity. They need you to fill gaps for them. Imagine those types of comments or those types of reviews for your business. Like that's not aligned with an authentic, heart-led, connective experience. Think about building your ecosystem as a whole, as your brand, and online and in your marketing materials and your website. Think about your ecosystem. Like it's an energetic exchange. Your website is the home that is going to hold people while you tell them exactly what you do and how you can provide services in a heart-led way. Okay, so the minute someone goes to your website, how do they feel? How do your visuals make them feel? How does your language make them feel? To me, I want people to feel held. I want people to feel connected to themselves and to what I'm saying. I hope that all of this has been helpful for you. Please comment any questions that you have or comment what has landed for you. I really, really thrive hearing feedback and hearing your comments. And by hearing, I mean reading, reading your comments. It really helps me also plan for future podcast episodes if there are questions. It's really helpful to me as a projector in human design and as an autistic person who really loves clarity. So feel free to leave questions and comments. But the things that we went over, so voice note your captions, bank those 5 hashtags, use trending sounds when you're not feeling creative, know exactly who you're talking to in social media, your brand, your business, and record in the same damn outfit every time. Who cares? Okay. And also F off to hooks. Okay, y'all. Please also with those comments and questions, leave a 5-star review if you like this podcast. We're just getting started here on the Divergent Disco. And we're going to dance through the discomfort, baby, because we are here to shift the narrative, change the world one step at a time. And by being our authentic neurodivergent selves, we have such an incredible opportunity to do that. So thanks for being here, y'all. I'll see you next time.